How can this Star Savant by Innova fix my game and make me better? Let's find out. I'm Michael. This is AM Disc Golf. This isn't just a Star Savant by Innova. It's actually a Techdisc, which many of you have probably heard of, some of you have probably thrown, and some of you probably even own one yourself. This is a very useful tool at improving quickly at disc golf. It's helped me a lot. It's helped my fiance. And today I'm going to explain to you the reasons why you should probably get a Techdisc, why you would benefit from it, and the reasons that people buy one and see no progress at all. Let's get started. Point one. Reason one of why you should get a Techdisc is that the data it provides you is super invaluable to improving your game. Anything from speed to launch angle to the angle you're throwing it at, all of that stuff is crucial to know, and it's how you get better at disc golf. Sure, numbers go up, you throw further, all of this, all of that, blah, 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 throw fast. But in reality, if you don't know what those numbers are doing when you throw, how do you know if you're actually getting better? Maybe you threw further the third time you threw a disc, but did your other things suffer? For example, maybe you had a better launch angle, but you were slower. Maybe you had a better speed, better launch angle, but your spin was down. These are things that you might feel, but you don't actually have anything to back it up unless you're throwing something like a tech disc or a game proofer. These provide you the numbers that immediately show you feedback on if what you felt and thought is lining up with reality itself. Sure, we can get that number up by reading all of this. We can even throw further by practicing and all of that. But numbers aren't everything in disc golf, and that's also reason one of why people buy this and are unsuccessful. They see no improvement, they think it's just a gimmick, and that's simply because they're taking the numbers, they're getting it up there, they go, wow, I've increased my max distance by 50 to 100 feet, all of this, all of that, and then they throw it into the first tree. Okay, it happens to everyone, it happens to me a lot. I promise, I've whipped it into every tree on a course that I've played. I get it. But the reason that people see the numbers go up on the tech disc and don't improve is simply because you're not actually practicing the lines that you need for a course. Reason number two of why you should get it is that simply it allows for easier practice. You don't have to go outside to a field and throw 10 discs and then walk a few hundred feet to grab them, throw them back, repeat the whole process. You're spending so much time and effort doing that when you could just be inside your house, throwing into a net, looking at a screen, getting the data. But reason number two on why people are unsuccessful with this product is that they think it replaces all of their fieldwork practice. And that is not true. Just because you see how far a disc would go on your screen doesn't mean you see the exact flight path. And while Techdisc does try and simulate this, and they show you, you went 15 feet right, you were 30 feet high at this point, and they give you the numbers to simulate the flight path, and there's even a visual if you load it up on a laptop or a computer. It's still not quite the same thing as knowing what each of your discs does, because they all get beat in differently. They all have different levels of wear, and the tech disc doesn't simulate that. You can change the flight numbers, you can see how a fairway driver would go, you can see how a distance driver would go, your mid-range, an overstable one, an understable one. You can change all of that, and it'll show you different numbers, but it doesn't replace the fieldwork practice. It doesn't replace going out to a course and going into the wooded holes and just throwing a few drives and trying to hit the right line, right? That being said, I've given you a lot of reasons why, well, I could just get a disc and throw into a net. I don't need to spend $300 on a specific disc. It is fun. I mean, come on now. We all want to get in those measuring contests with our friends. Oh, I throw faster, I throw further, blah 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 blah. Give me the instant numbers, all of this, all of that. It is fun. But to wrap it up, you know, fun doesn't replace good measured practice. And if you're not combining good measured practice with the tool, then you're not going to get better. It's a tool, not the fix, right? You have to have focus practice. You have to make conscious changes to your technique. You have to do all this mental work while applying it with a disc. The tech disc simply gives you the numbers to back up the feeling that you see when you throw. If you release and you feel good and the numbers go, hey, that wasn't as good as you've been throwing, that means you're getting comfortable and not making the changes that you're trying to make. You could throw and go, wow, that felt really bad. But all of a sudden the numbers went up, right? And you have to make that the new comfortable. I will warn you though, however, if you get a Techdisc, do not injure yourself throwing it a lot of times. You're gonna put a lot of wear on your body, especially the first few times that you do a practice session with it. I've been there. I'm sure most people who have thrown one have been there. It takes a lot of self-restraint because you're not really going anywhere. You're just throwing into a net 5-10 feet from you, and you're going to add up throws really quickly, 50 to 100 a session of full power, medium power throws, forehand, backhand, and it will tear your body just a little bit. So make sure you take care of yourself when you do pick one up. Anyways, this is Michael. This is AM Disc Golf. Let me know in the comments below how you think a Techdisc could help your game, or if you have one and you have tips for other people who have one, leave them down below. Share the knowledge. Until next time, thank you.